All right, BarstoolBuddhas, we're back. I'm Jai.
Rip.
He's not. I know. I saw him a while ago.
It's early.
He's like a deacon in the church.
Yeah.
So we'd like to invite everybody to like, subscribe, hit that notify button. People say smash the button. I don't like the idea of smashing anything on a computer. It's a lot of work. We're on all the platforms, so whatever permutation of that kind of notification thing, let us know how we're doing. You can rate these things, I understand, from 1 to 5, or you don't have to rate them all. We don't mind if you rate us slowly because it gives us a chance to change and adapt. And
if somebody doesn't like what we're saying, we're not doing what we're trying to do.
Absolutely. So, that's just a feedback loop. It's helpful. Thank you very much. So today we're going to talk about several items about the First Amendment and some other stuff going on. And we may get a bit heavy this week. Because
yeah.
I know that
deep topic.
I noticed I gained 5 pounds too, so it's easier to get heavy than it is to get light. So, First Amendment. We're going to talk about this whole flag burning thing again.
It's your right.
It is your right. Back in the 60s when all the little hippies were running around, and I got to tell you, I was one of them. Mm-hmm. I wasn't in the streets, but I was singing the songs and cheering them on. Some dude decided he's going to burn the American flag. Well, they were all doing it. A lot of people were doing it, but this one went to court, went all the way to the
Supreme Court.
Supreme Court said it's your freedom to express how you feel, and if it up to and including burning the American flag. So since then, you can do that with virtual impunity.
But
there are some places, if you try to do it, you may get your ass soundly beaten. And there are other places where they may hold a parade in your honor and give you a medal. So it's one thing and another with the people, but we're all different. So what came up this week, Rip?
With the flag?
With the flag burning thing.
Black Lives Matter flag.
Yeah, some dude decided to allegedly burn it. We can't see. I haven't seen the verdict yet, but apparently
he's charged now with a crime.
He could face 9 months in jail for burning a Black Lives Matter flag, which is not the flag of anything other than a club.
Not territory.
It's it represents no legal entity as far as a country, province, whatever the hell they do.
I get the meaning, what they're trying to use it for. I mean, I understand that.
Yeah. So, like I said, every good villain has an emblem. Yeah. But the problem becomes, if freedom and justice for all, isn't that a nice concept?
Yeah.
But it's all based upon a level playing field. So if you can burn the flag of my country as an expression of your First Amendment rights, but I can't burn your flag, and it's not tit for tat. I don't think that's the way to go either. But if you can do it, I can do it, because if we don't have a common ground to stand on, the whole thing just goes to hell. And I saw CNN last night. It seems like it's already there. So
they're leading the way.
Oh, yeah. So we got to be careful about these things, guys. We don't need to trample on anybody's the rights to do this. But we got to be careful. So the other portion, and this is what's near and dear to me, is this Section 230 of I guess it's part of the FCC. I don't know exactly where it says, but it's the rules that govern some things about the internet. And so we're not lawyers, and like I said last week, thank God. It basically boils down to a layman's view of this. There are two ways to be on the internet as a provider of that service. One is a platform. Mm-hmm. Now, a platform, I equate it with plugging something into the wall. Yep. Electricity comes out, it goes, and you use it for whatever you use it for. It's not responsible for what you do with it. If your hair dryer blows up and kills your sister, the electricity didn't really do that. So that's a platform. Mm-hmm. Then you have publishing, which we're all aware of it. People publish records, they publish the news, they publish books.
And there are some rules.
There's rules. There's some legal liabilities in what you put out, who you talk to, what happens to those people, the veracity of what you're saying. There's legal ramifications if you decide you don't want to play it the right way. Yeah. Well, in the internet world, we see that, I guess I can say Facebook, all of them, they're trying to manage that process and manage disinformation. Well, they're cherry picking. That's what I call it. They're trying to
controlling the voice.
They're taking both sides and taking what they want out of it and trying to run the whole thing with it. And so it's becoming a real big problem. And if you've noticed anything about people getting censored, there's certain groups that they almost can't say anything about what the thing about the virus. For months you'd get banned from YouTube if you said anything about anything other than the status quo explanation of it. Now you can say that would have got you banned before, but it's all because of the interpretation, and basically the platforms are not platforms in that they're being editorial, they're being publishers. And so it's confusing. At best, it's confusing. Now, when Mr. Trump was the president, he wanted to revisit 230 and he wanted to clarify it so that if I'm Facebook, I can say I'm a platform and all those rules apply. And as long as I go with that, I got some indemnity, I've got some relief from prosecution, whatever, up to a point. And if I choose to be a publisher, I'm going to be a publisher, and I get those protections or those exposures to liability, whatever. Well, but now that didn't happen because nobody could agree. Now, Mr. Biden woke up. He had an idea. He woke up. And he says, maybe we should just do away with 230. In my opinion, it would be a disaster, because then it just opens up the possibility that people who own these platforms, publishing, whatever they're going to call them, have complete control. And when you have complete control of anything, you can completely control anything you want. And if you're on the other side of the opinion from them, you may find yourself without a voice. And in today's world, if you don't have a voice on the internet, you don't have a voice. Right. And so that's dangerous for any democracy, any representative government. It's really not a good place to go for a free society. So it's a real danger. We need to watch out for that. Yeah. So we're going to stay tuned to that one. So
freedom under attack.
It is under attack. And you brought up something about the school board up in Virginia.
Gosh, can you believe this?
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
So a school board is suing a woman who she may have been a nuisance, that she is a citizen, asking her representatives that have been elected and put into office to run the school system, take care of the schools, take care of the teachers, control, decide what the curriculum is, but they won't allow her access to the curriculum. It's a public document.
Yeah, it's a public trust they hold up there. And, I don't know if in Virginia specifically, like I said, I'm not a lawyer, but in most places, there's sunshine laws, and these people act, and they're supposed to act in the bright light of day, and anything they do is supposed to be transparent to the public.
Meeting notes, everything.
How they came to this, what they were voting on. And in fact, in many places like city councils and things like that, citizens have the right to review what's being proposed prior to the votes.
Correct.
And so this lady's asking to see it, and she's requested 160 times. Now they're going to sue her. The school board is going to sue.
Public employees paid by taxpayers
are going to sue the lady who is asking the people that they voted in to do a job, how they're doing the job, how they're making the decisions.
And who will pay for that?
It would have to be the taxpayers. The other people are going to share the burden that shouldn't be a burden. This is insane.
It is. Absolutely.
We'll keep you informed of this, but this is the kind of nonsense that's going on all over the country. And so I forget who said it. I wish I could remember, but there's a saying, all politics is local. And so for so long, we worried about who's the president or who's a senator or this or that and the other. You need to be worried about who's running your school board and controlling your children, who's putting up stop signs in your neighborhood, who's deciding all the things in your city that actually impact you on a daily basis. Take care to look who's in your city councils and your county commissions. These people are pretty much ignored, and they do what they kind of want to do.
They bring things in under the shadow of night.
Well, in small towns like we live in, for years, generally it went to the public good, because these were all our neighbors. They knew everybody, and they knew if they messed up, they'd be replaced.
We're talking about a different generation of people that paid attention, they were involved, and they weren't glued to their phone, looking at the internet all day long, and being a recluse and a behind the screen kind of person.
An electronic
we have different people in our society than we used to.
So pay attention. Really pay attention to these stories. Like I said, all politics is local. It starts at a local level, bubbles up, and now is not the time to go hide. It's just not. Especially if you have school-age children. There's things in those schools that I've disagreed with for years. The school has taken the place of mommy and daddy and the church and whatever. And it's not all shame on them. we live in a society where both parents have to work to do the things we need to do and have. So we had to have that taken care of. And it looked like a good idea.
In theory, yeah.
The kids are in school. They have the attention of the children. So let's put a little of this in there so we can ensure that everybody's getting that knowledge when the parents are struggling to make a living and out in the world. But it's like anything else that's not watched closely. It tends to drift. You got mission creep here. And then next thing you know, you got a union that runs all the teachers making outrageous demands, placing themselves in the role of total authority over your children.
Bureaucracy run amok.
I like that word, amok. Amok. It sounds like a Hungarian guy with a club in his hand. Here comes amok. Okay, so we're going to shift gears here. We're going to go to the genius of the week.
Yeah.
And usually we these kind of things, the genius of the week and the morons on the move, are kind of like tongue in cheek. We're making fun. I'm bringing a point. But these people, I really think they are the geniuses of the week. I think they're heroes.
A lot of people are criticizing them.
They're not treated as heroes. By a large portion of people out there making the noise. We never know how many people are actually making the noise and how many people like it, because the people that like it generally don't say much. Yeah. There's some kind of rule in marketing and stuff that a small percent of people who are pleased comment, and a larger percentage of people who aren't happy comment. So you hear from the people who don't like something more than you do the people who do. So anyway, Branson, Bezos, and Musk, they're all trying to be astronauts.
Three Musketeers.
The Three Musketeers. But, two of them went in space, I think this last week, Branson and Bezos. And Elon Musk, he's going to go if he hadn't already gone. And so, I'm going to say something just out there that I think they are the new Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins of our generation. They're spending their own money, their time, their resources, and their vision to get us farther along in this endeavor. But you've got people who don't like that.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Warren.
Oh,
she's all hacked off, peed off because Jeff Bezos comes down, and one of the first things he says, I'd like to thank everybody involved for making this happen. Now, when I was growing up, everybody meant everybody.
Right, yeah.
But apparently Elizabeth has to be singled out because her feelings are hurt, that he didn't mention the taxpayers or this or that or the other. So, shame on you, Elizabeth. You're a short-sighted little woman with a really bad agenda and a bad temper. I know now why Mr. Trump called you Pocahontas. It had nothing to do with your lineage. It's your attitude. You're just a horrible little person, and you co-opted the proud heritage of the indigenous people. You should be ashamed. Yeah. Anyway, I diverge. The point is that these folks, they do have billions of dollars. They could spend these billions of dollars building even bigger mansions, living on yachts, gold plating their dogs or whatever rich people do. But instead, they're investing this money, billions of their own money in coordination with the United States government.
Who's that going to benefit in the long run?
It's going to benefit everybody. If you look back at NASA, back in the 60s. The advancements in technology. Yeah. Everything was accelerated at a huge pace to get people on the moon. And like I said, talking to you a while ago, you got these people in here. Why do we want to go into space? There ain't nothing on the moon. Why, hell, they could buy me a new car with that money. All that may be true. But the effort to get there, to do that, to be able to take human beings into space and pursue that dream, it's like watching a boat go down the river. There's a wake behind it.
And it pulls along.
And it's pulling us all along with it. It raises the capabilities of the human race. It gives us a vision. It tends to unite us. I remember when we landed on the moon, and for those who don't believe it, you can just say we watched it on TV, whatever, whether it was filmed. Anyway, there's always somebody. The point is the whole world, I remember it was in July 69. Yeah. They sat there and they watched this around the world, and it wasn't, I'm sure the Russians and Chinese were kind of jealous, but it made people proud to be a human being, that a person from this planet landed on the moon. It brought us all together. It started a huge race in space that was already going on somewhat, but the technology. And so the things that came out of that,
Numerous.
There was Tang. Remember Tang?
Oh, yeah.
I was a little kid. You can drink this stuff just like the astronauts do.
The
You put
advancements in communication and computers and everything. It's just been.
It led to a complete advancement in technologies that allowed for things like talking to anybody that wants to see this on the internet can find this. We just put it out there, and anybody on the planet can see this at any time.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of things that visionaries bring to the human race. And these guys are in the new generation of this. And what's really
I
hard,
can't even imagine what's going to come from this.
if you look at just what really happens with these three gentlemen using their own private industries and their own resources for a large part of this, we have now moved our society where there are individuals who can make these contributions. Up to a certain point, it was all governments that were doing this, and they had their political agendas. And, you know, a lot of these things, everything we've ever developed became a weapon first.
Oh, yeah.
Everything we've ever done.
The industrial complex.
And I don't know that Mr. Branson isn't developed some kind of hypersonic missile on the side. I don't know what they're doing. But the fact is, and to Elizabeth Warren and all the socialists out there worrying about who didn't get that money that they spent on the rocket ships, there were jobs created by that. There are people that went home and are going home every day with a nice paycheck that participated in that. That's
that money
driven by
somebody's pockets.
Absolutely.
It comes down, folks.
The bottom line is it left Mr. Branson, Mr. Bezos, and Mr. Musk's pocket and went into some other pocket.
A lot of pockets.
Absolutely. So
these are good things.
You know what? I want to tell Elizabeth Warren, and you know, I don't like Elizabeth Warren, and I'm not ashamed to say that. She's got her side of things. I got mine. When you contribute to America like these gentlemen are, come back and talk to us. Other than that, why don't you go on vacation, go to Maine, you know, look at some trees, whatever you want to do. Get out of the way. You're not doing anything for anybody. Just get out of the way.
A politician in the way? Oh, God.
Okay, so that almost was a morons on the move. But this week we got morons on the move.
Oh, it's really disappointing. U.S. Olympic team.
No, not the team.
Members.
Many members.
Excuse me.
Yeah, and we're not going to grace these yo-yos with using their name or talking about them any more than we have to, because they are, in my view, a disgrace.
Yeah. Other countries are laughing at us. We got a bunch of crybabies on parade right now.
You got that one lady who was, the schedule was thrown off, and she happened to be on the field when they played the
national anthem,
and she was offended because it wasn't supposed to happen while she was practicing, and she turned her back. Okay, you've got the other guy who says if he wins the gold and gets on the podium, he's going to use it to trash the United States. Okay, then you had our soccer team. What's Rapinoe with the red hair and all that?
Her name.
Whoever she is. Yeah. Anyway, they all took a knee. Okay, they got up on the field and they got kneecapped by Sweden
3-0.
You know what? Talk about John Lennon's instant karma moment. You know what? You're a freaking disgrace. Okay,
represent our country.
And you got other people doing really weird and strange things. But you know what? Those people, those spots on that team, people train for years. They compete at very high levels. Those are very coveted positions. Those people live and breathe to go to the Olympics and represent this country or their country, whichever country, in that arena. Yeah. They're proud of it, and they go as a country's representatives. So these yo-yos over there, not only do I think they're traitors, they have engaged in theft. They have taken something valuable, very valuable, and held it to themselves for their own purposes that other people literally would almost die for to have. So, you know, shame on you, you know. And I don't want the United States to suffer for this, but if there's I'm not going to say I'm going to pray for this, but I'm not going to be disappointed if every one of those slugs loses in their particular sport. They don't deserve that chance.
How about social justice warriors Olympics?
That would be interesting. I think that's important this year. Okay. So, and I had a thought. We discussed this. Centuries ago, down in what was called Mesoamerica, you had the Mayans, you had the Aztecs and all those folks, and they would have these games, much like the Olympics. And they would
serious games.
They would all go down there and they would play for days and days and days, maybe weeks. I forget all the time frames. Yep. And the winner would win, and they would be like gods.
Yeah, they got everything.
Oh, they were just, man, they were good to go. But the losers, they all got killed. They got their throat cut or their heart cut out on one of those big pyramids to Quetzalcoatl or whatever his guy's name is down there.
Yeah.
They were done. So, like I said, if that kind of motivation doesn't put a spark in your boots, you're missing something. So I'm thinking maybe we should redo our Olympics. The Greek model isn't working anymore.
Right.
It was alive with pride and duty and all this stuff. Okay, let's do this. You want in, you get in. You know the stakes, man. You're going to go for the gold. There's going to be a lot of pride in that thing, because if you don't cut it, you're getting cut. You're done. You're going to get cut from that team in a way that you're never going to recover from.
Both of you are going to leave it on the field.
They're going to leave it all in the field. So, that's kind of all we got to say about it. But, I think I know what's kind of happening there. I think there's some stuff in the background. I read somewhere that IQ is dropping everywhere. And you know what? I'm not a scientist, but sometimes you don't need to, like Bob Dylan says, you don't need a weatherman to see which way the wind blows.
Yeah.
The other big story is that the global sperm count is down.
That might be a good thing.
It might take care of part of this stupid thing. Stupid people may become more rare. Somehow, I don't think it's going to work out that way.
That's a bad thing.
Well, we maybe can achieve some equilibrium over this whole thing. Who knows? But the survey I read said stupid is the new normal, and I don't know.
It's all around us. It's so obvious. You see it every day.
I felt stupid before, but I probably didn't notice as much as I should. And I think that's probably a trait of being stupid. You just don't really know you're stupid, because I know people that are way smarter than me, and I feel great till I'm around them. Yeah, because I notice, I think, sometimes. Anyway, the book of the week. Last week we had the religious test of your choice, right? We asked people,
religion of your own.
Yeah, we went and told people, take a look, see what that, if your religion is espousing skin color or sexual preference. I'd like to know that, because I've read most of those things, and while I'm not a scholar, I didn't really pick up that theme. Mm-hmm. So anyway,
now time for our PSA moment.
The PSA moment. Oh, good Lord. Yeah. This week, the book of the week is any book.
Pick a book.
Pick a damn book. Learn to frickin' read and comprehend something, anything. Turn off the TikTok, turn off the Instagram, turn off Twitter, turn off this. You need to read a book. There's some things that go on with the way the brain works. When you read
more letters and pictures, please.
Yeah, exactly. More letters and pictures. You comprehend. You learn to think a little bit. It does different things than just looking at a screen. Turn all that crap off for a while. And on your way out the door, you can text your favorite influencers, right? These mindless, vacuous influencers that are making tons of YouTube money with doing nothing more than telling people to wear the right shade of lipstick.
It's the most ridiculous crap I've ever seen.
Yeah, you got these 15-year-olds that got 100 million people following them all over the internet, and they all do nothing but tell each other, boy, you look good today. They hold their cameras a certain way to make themselves look 15 pounds lighter, and they adjust the light where they don't have any zits on their face anymore. You see them in public, your heart stops. It's all fake and fraud, and they're leading these people to believe they can be just like that. So, we were discussing whether you can get a PhD on an iPhone anymore. I don't know that you can't. Anything's available on, maybe it's probably on an OnlyFans page. I don't know. But our advice to you this week is learn to read, learn to think critically for yourself. And for those in the language of the internet savvy people, try Facebooking reality for a while, or FaceTiming. Isn't that right? FaceTime reality. That might work for you. It might scare the hell out of you. You'll actually find out how many people actually do have zits. Still have, as they say in English, they have spots. Spots. They have. Oh, so you still have spots. So it reminds me of a song that John Prine, and rest his soul, came up with, and it's Spanish something. I don't remember the whole
I don't
title.
remember the name. We know all of them. I can't call them.
Yeah, you know, a little senility creeps in here and there. You try to remember the relevant shit. But it goes, blow up your TV, throw away your paper, go to the country and build a home. Plant a little garden, eat a lot of peaches, try to find Jesus on your own.
On your own.
So if you really want to be an influencer, here's a way. Read a book, get a skill, get a career, go out and change the world, build something, contribute to the community, real people that you walk by in the street, not people you see on a screen. Then you'll be an influencer, and I'll be influenced, I'm sure. Yeah. So I know we sound kind of hard and mean, but you know what? This trend seems to be going nowhere. People are under basically voluntary confinement with their screen.
Yeah.
That's really a drag, isn't it?
Get out and be local.
Yeah, everything is local. Make a friend, a real friend, not a Facebook friend, a real friend. Yes.
Friend will help you move a couch when you need to move a couch.
Yeah, you can't get them to do that when.
There's not an app for that.
Not an app for that. So anyway, the last thing we're going to do is really probably going to upset some people, but probably not anybody watching this show. But we're going to call it Wheel of Misfortune. And it's all about this woke thing. And I got a real problem with the work and the woke word and vernacular and the way it's used and what it means.
I kind of cringe the way they use it. It's grammatically wrong.
I would like to come up with something creative and really pleasant to say, but it's bullshit. It's just bullshit. It's a narrow little slice of consciousness that they posit is the be-all and end-all of importance, social culture, and racial identity, and all the other stuff that they think is being downtrodden, and the problems are all caused by it, okay? I think what we should do is we play like that game. What is that game? The Wheel of Fortune, right?
Yeah, Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune, okay. That's the one where they buy the vowel, right? Okay, so while everybody's asking you to proclaim your pronouns or choose your pronouns, what's your pronoun? Mm-hmm. I think you should be careful. Choose your vowel. And so in the Wheel of Misfortune, can I buy a vowel? Yes. I'm going to buy an A. And you know why I'm going to buy an A? Because there's a huge difference between wake and woke. A versus O, alpha versus omega, the beginning and the end. So to awaken is a complete different thing than being woke. Mm-hmm. There was a guy years and years ago, way back. Yeah. He was awakened, and he basically changed the lives of everybody around the world. Mm-hmm. And in Asia, it's called Buddhism. And basically, he woke up, but he wasn't woke.
That's proper use of the word.
Yes, he awakened to the nature of reality, and he spread that word. And basically, it was about consciousness of what's going on, what really is happening. Not what you want to happen, not a thin slice of it. He raised his whole consciousness where it included the reality of what was going on. You know, he was not Facebooking reality. He was in reality. So it gives you the opportunity when you wake up in the consciousness area to see everything, even what the woke people are trying to put across. They have a point. And there is validity to what they want to change at the base level. What they're identifying for is there inequities, some problems. You know, you've got people starving to death. You've got people being beaten. You've got a whole gamut of everything that's wrong. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to put that forth. But they're trying to turn the whole world up on its head for this narrow slice and this narrow remedy. Right. When you awaken, you see the whole picture. When you push yourself to include the world and get a view across the board, mm-hmm. from a wider consciousness perspective, mm-hmm. you will affect more change, a better change, a more complete change. And the goal is not to become woke. Woke. I'm woke.
It's almost like the chic thing for everybody to be saying if they put a mic or a camera in front of them.
And again, I want to be clear. I understand the concept of bringing attention and bringing action to those matters. That's fine.
These things are real. We're not saying that.
But a good thing to remember, and this is key, is that, like I've just said, I recognize what you want when you say woke, but the way you say it is off-putting. and it's off-putting for a lot of people. It threatens people. And some of the people you threaten and turn the other way may be the very people that you need to help you get where you need to go, because it's going to take so many of us to change this in any kind of time frame that's acceptable, because we've gone centuries, millennia getting to this point. And if you think simply by burning down Baltimore or Portland or waving a black flag in the street is going to change this, I got some bad news for you.
That change is ugly.
You're scaring the people that can actually do this with you, and you probably need to rethink that.
Yeah.
Your goals are lofty. I admire your goals. Your methodology needs to be flushed immediately. It's reeking. We need to get rid of it. So,
I'm afraid it's only going to get worse before it gets better, though.
Probably so. So, again, when you're playing the wheel of misfortune, I'm going to pick the A. I'm going to try to get myself in a point where I read a book and understand what you're talking about. I'm not going to listen to an influencer saying, you're not using the right pronouns. You're a mesosexual or a unitard sexual or whatever the hell you think you are. You don't know what you are. Most of these people don't even have a clue what they are. This has come down the pike and they say, oh, I need identity. There's an identity I think I feel comfortable with. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. We all do that to some extent. You know, I want to be an engineer. He wants to be a cowboy. Whatever it is, we go do it. We try to do it. But we don't try to prevent other people from doing it or force other people to say, he's a real cowboy. You know, you get the point, right?
Oh, yeah.
Live your life. Be happy. We're all in this mess together. So
7.5, folks, and counting.
To be awakened means to be able to deduce the reality of things and to apply that. And if you're at a certain level of consciousness, it will be some form of equanimity in doing that. So, and that's what we've lost a lot of that, if we ever had much of it. So, that's all I got to say about that stuff. That's a lot of stuff for this week.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, we mean well, even if it doesn't sound like it. Just two good old boys sitting in a room. Look like we're floating in space, right?
Yeah. The black background.
Actually, it looks like we're in the back of a city bus in a tunnel. But
Scoot over, dude.
Hopefully this lighting is a little better than the bar thing behind us. We were really struggling with that.
Still the BarstoolBuddhas.
We still
the bar's still back there.
The bar's, it's not happy hour yet. So anyway, till next time, take a look around. Try to contribute. And if it's not time for you to contribute, make sure you educate yourself into what it takes to contribute, where it will be valued. You know, there's an old saying, my grandmother was like this. She was a complete teetotaler. She wouldn't give anybody on the street any money because they were going to go buy liquor, and she couldn't be a part of that. You know, so don't give that bum any money because he's going to get drunk. You know?
Right.
I disagreed with that at some point because I was sorry for the guy. But the point is, make sure when you contribute that you understand what you're contributing to, that it's a value. Yeah. You can contribute to things that will lead in ways that are detrimental. You know, you don't hand a drunk on the corner a quart of gin. You don't do that. Take him down the corner and buy him lunch.
Yeah.
And if you take that model into what you interface with, you can make a difference. You can be the influencer. So give that a shot.
Yeah.
So
people working together.
Till next week, we're going to hide. And we'll come up with something else to chat about.
Hard out.
Talk to you later.